Welcome, dear viewers, to Couch Warrior TV on YouTube. I am the Couch Warrior. It's been a while since we talked. Um, so I decided to jump onto the camera and just have a chat, share a little bit, find out what's been going on with you. I thought for a long time about how I was going to make this video, and in the end, I decided to just, take a page from my own book and just do it. Not think about it so much. So I'm coming at this having given it a lot of thought, but unscripted. I'm hoping that that will allow me to be as authentic as I can be in this moment. So, get yourself a warm drink, if you will, and let's chat. I wanted to talk a little bit about growth. So I've been going through a long and intense period of personal growth that involved a lot of self-reflection. I would argue that growth is not even possible if you're not capable of some degree of self-reflection. And I wanted to make this video because I felt like I owed my viewers some kind of an explanation to let you into my thoughts and feelings about this channel, about those of you who have stuck with it for more than a decade now. The overwhelming feeling that I have about that is gratitude. So much gratitude. Gratitude to you, the viewers, those of you who just religiously watched my stories over the years, contributed in the comments, hit the Discord, sent me such wonderful messages. I think one of the most rewarding things about having run this channel over the years has been the understanding that my content has in some way impacted people's lives in a positive way. I think that probably makes it worth all the time and effort more than anything else. And I still monitor the comments. Every comment that comes in, I see it. And so I wanted to thank the viewers. I also wanted to send a thank you out to my boys, my friends. So loyal, so good to me. When I was at the depths, the worst of it, they were there, helping me in any way that they could, driving me around to pick up furniture, supporting me. Yeah, I don't know that I can ever fully repay that. Not that I expect that I need to, but you guys really came through for me in a extremely difficult time. So I think, friends, viewers, family, it has always been easy. Easy is maybe not the right word. Easier for me to take creative risks. I've taken creative risks my entire life. And while they haven't all paid off, they've all brought something to me, either a skill, a new perspective, new relationships. Taking creative risks is kind of like built into my DNA. But taking risks where my personal life is concerned and my own physical and mental health, very hard. Very, very hard to do. that sort of change is the kind of change that is earth-shaking. And I would say that over the years, this channel and the byproducts of this channel, the relationships that I've had, the conversations I've had with people, the support that I've gotten from this community has given me the strength to do the things that I needed to do, to take the risks I needed to take for my own sense of wellness. I'm a person who believes, we have one shot at this life to be happy. And the longer that we put up with a situation that is bad for us, the more we're robbing ourselves of that opportunity for happiness. And so I think that all the positive vibes that have come off this channel in the years from viewers, from friends, creative partners, all of that was instrumental, absolutely instrumental in giving me the strength and the courage to extricate myself from an abusive situation. It was not easy. It was extremely hard. It involved a lot of sacrifice and sleepless nights. It required me to be homeless, but it got done. And ultimately, it was the positivity of this community and the support of my friends and family that gave me the strength to do it. And so I am eternally grateful for that. It has allowed me to transition into a phase in my life that is filled with goodness. I still have struggles. There have been career changes. There have been difficulties, as you can imagine, associated with ending a relationship and starting something new. Always struggles. But I have a newfound appreciation for life and a perspective that allows me to hit these things head on. And I've got this support now that I didn't know was possible. People lifting me up. And it has been incredible, really incredible. And so, in the way of an explanation, it has been, we're closing in on, I suppose, 3 years since I uploaded my last Skyrim video. And, I'm not here to apologize for quitting, but I am here to provide you with an explanation and just to say that I reached a point where, we often hear people on YouTube talk about burnout. I think, it's a real thing. But for me, it wasn't burnout. It was just a transition. I was done telling the stories. I needed to stop isolating myself, and I needed to be with people. And I suddenly found myself surrounded by people who really cared, people who wanted to be with me, people who wanted to share things, right? And so I stepped away. And frankly, I'm glad that I did. If you go back through the archive of all the thousands of hours of video that are on the Couch Warrior YouTube channel, I think one thing that is a common thread through everything is the degree to which I poured my emotions into the videos that I was making. I mean, some of those videos are very much a reflection of my state of mind, given my life situation at that moment. Um, it's probably not surprising that at the darkest moments, that's when that's when Billy came into my life. And there's a lot of raw emotion in there. And I think that, you know, that just built and it kind of transitioned into Ascendance, right? Lots of emotion, lots of conflict, lots of um, exploring of feelings, sense of loss, um, all that stuff. It was just a great vehicle for me to just dump uh, a lot of confusion and hurt into, and just deal with it. Wonderful. And I'm so proud of that content. And it's hard for me to express how therapeutic that was in the moment. Um, and then as I kind of transitioned into a new way of being, engaged in self-reflection, therapy, uh, medication, I found myself stepping away from that and wanting to step into exploring new things. And by that time, the channel had become uh, such a focal point for my emotions, this kind of emotional release and this escapism, uh, that I couldn't see myself continuing to do that, and also being able to explore new things, new experiences, and all of that. So I stepped away. And at that moment, I did not have the strength to say goodbye or make a final video or finish the story. I just had to go. And so I did. And um, once again, this community was very supportive. And I heard from a lot of people. A lot of people kind of looking back with nostalgia and affection on the Skyrim days, the storytelling days, and um, that was wonderful. I read all of those comments, and they make me feel so good about what was accomplished. So I've been thinking about the future, and I really don't know what the future has in store for Couch Warrior TV, this YouTube channel. Um, I really have a difficult time seeing myself going back to making Skyrim videos. Um, I don't think that's in the cards. I think the main reason for me is that I've become inspired by other things. Also, to do the kinds of stories that I would like to do in a platform like Skyrim requires hours and hours and hours of work, between mods, prepping scripts, building characters, creating the framework to tell those stories was intense. Um, that's not something I'm prepared to do. I'm putting my intensity into other things right now. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go through this channel, and I'm going to remove any videos that do not have to do with the stories that I told here, and move them to another channel, so that this channel can be the archive of storytelling that I think it should be. Um, so I've got a different channel that I've been putting my music stuff into. Anything that I posted here that was related to my music that isn't there already, I will move over. I've got another YouTube channel that is associated with all of my work in the tabletop role-playing game space. I'll move that stuff over there. And we'll just kind of keep this the nice sort of pristine storytelling YouTube channel that it was originally intended to be. Um, so why am I doing this now? I guess, because I felt like I was at a point emotionally, and it was just time. It was time to come back to you, provide you with an explanation. say hi. See how you're doing. I hope you're all doing wonderful. I do hear from some of you in the comments still, and so grateful for that. And, I'd also want to promote a little bit those folks in the Discord community. Um, the Character Crusade Discord community who are still there, still plugging away at their stories. And if you are coming to this channel and watching my stories over again, I want to make sure that you know that there's other people out there who are still telling stories. Beautiful, fresh Skyrim stories that can suck you in, and they're so worth a watch. If you want to explore that, you can take a look in the recommended channels. I have some of them listed here, or you can go to the Character Crusade Discord community and just kind of join in there. Ask people some questions about what's going on and what you should watch and all that. There's so many people there making great stories. And they're not all video. There's some wonderful things that you can read there. Also, of course, buried in this YouTube channel are most of the podcasts that we recorded also. So that content lives on here. Although I don't support the podcast feed anymore. I took that offline. All of that stuff is here. So I encourage you to take it in, support some content creators who are still doing it, and, just get involved in the community. There's still a lot more stories to be told. So, what am I doing now? Oh, making music, among other things. So I started releasing music under the moniker Halcyon Hum, and I've released probably over 120 singles by this point. A couple of albums, a couple of EPs, and it's been remarkably satisfying to do. I've learned so much. I've had the opportunity to coordinate with some other artists, and have my music played on community radio and streaming services. I recently had an album that was it was I don't know how to say this. I guess it was accepted into an archive of Minnesota music artists that is run by a nonprofit artist association in cooperation with our local library system. So that was a real honor. That made me feel good. So, I mean, if you're interested in music, all of my music is available for free. You can find it on SoundCloud. You can find it on YouTube Music. It's on Bandcamp. It's on Spotify too, as a matter of fact, and iTunes. So give it a listen. It's very much in my kind of aesthetic, right? A lot of it kind of relates back to the ambient music that I used in many of my videos. And so it's primarily ambient, but there's some other experimental things in there. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm going to keep doing it. In addition to that, I've been playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Anybody who knows me knows I've been into Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. I started back in the 80s, and I'm still doing it. So I've been building a lot of maps, a lot of software tools for that, lots of stories and assets for role-playing games. If you're at all interested in role-playing games and you're looking for some stuff, I have all kinds of free resources available. You can go to prodigiousmaps.quest. And that is my Patreon site. I have a free membership you can sign up for. Doesn't cost you anything. And there's a whole archive of maps you can download for your own games if you're interested in that. I also have an upgraded membership if you are a user of Dungeon Alchemist, and you can download some assets and map files and make your own maps. It's so much fun. So even if you're not into TTRPGs, just building maps, oh my gosh, it's like playing with Legos. Highly recommend. So I've got that going on. And then I've also started offering my services as a game master, and I am pouring all of the same creative effort into that I did my YouTube channel, including the voices, the custom music, all of my own maps, my own world and storytelling, all of that stuff. And I'm trying to provide people with a real kind of premium experience. So I'm doing that through Start Playing Games. And that's new for me. So if tabletop role-playing games is something that you're interested in, and you're interested in playing online with me, I would be happy to have you. At the moment, I am just trying to get my first campaign started. So it's for 3 to 5 players, starting at level 3 in a world of my own creation. And so that's pretty exciting. I'm hoping to be doing that on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So I'll put all the links in the description in case you want to check it out. So, you know, I'm doing all the creative things that I've always done. I'm just doing it in a different way. Anyway, that's what I got for you. I just wanted to get on here for a little bit, let you know where I'm at, and express my gratitude to all of you. And, you know, just let you know that your kindness, your support, your comments got me through a very dark period and out the other side. And I know that, you know, when I was in the depths of it, I was not always an easy person to be with. And for those of you out there that I may have hurt or upset, I apologize deeply. I was in a very dark place. That's not an excuse, but I've always had a little bit of this outrage machine. That's probably the genesis of the Diva Stew nickname that has popped up on Discord years ago. I'd like to think I left Diva Stew behind, but if I ever came on too strong or did anything to upset you or hurt your feelings or anything like that, I did not mean it, and I apologize. Being in a dark place is no excuse for that. So, well, I guess that's my way of saying hi. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you are coming to this channel to go back and rewatch some of these stories, whether it be Aranis Arcana or Ascendance or Billy's story or I don't know, Twist's story, Vander's story, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, and feel free to leave me comments. I'm always looking at them. I respond every once in a while. I don't always, but I see every single comment posted here, and I appreciate you coming to watch. And if my stories in some way helped you through a period of darkness or uncertainty, I am so grateful for that. So thankful that I was able to, in some way, contribute to getting you through that or giving you something else to think about at the very least. That is it. With all gratitude, I would like to thank you. Be well, and I will see you next time.